Junket.
Just been landed here. I have no idea what's going on. You like these things? They're kind of a little. I mean, that's tough.
I've kind of, I'm kind of not used to it, I guess. But that's not the best way to describe it. But I guess I'm a little more relaxed with the whole process of it all now.
Do you have do you like Dylan? Just on a personal level, do you listen to any of the stuff?
I do. Oh yeah. Certainly before and during the shoot, it was just Dylan overload.
It's like music being played in the background.
Constantly,
kind of,
everywhere. Yeah. And you wake up, you eat, sleep, and Dylan, and so I've actually taken a bit of a break from Dylan for a while because it was a bit of an overload. But yeah, it's definitely like whenever I hear anything or see Dylan, that does instantly connect me to my experience on the movie, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But.
It's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work involved because when I do something and I throw my whole everything into it, I've done it for 3 or 4 months, and then to hear something about it a month down the road, sometimes I kind of cringe because I'm just like, oh my God, because it brings back all those work memories.
Right.
I did American Idol, the show on TV, for years. I had to cover it all the time. And now when I hear that music, it's almost Pavlovian. I start that...
Vomit?
Like,
yeah.
I mean, truly.
Right.
With your particular role in it, it was almost like romantic issues, obviously, but you were the Dylan that kind of was starting to believe his own press a little bit. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, you all keep coming in here and giving me good answers to these questions.
Which is great about this movie, and I hope that people go and see it because it does. Even if you don't know anything about the guy, I think that it's up into interpretation.
Yeah, completely.
Which is nice. Now you don't lump us all in the same category. You do, don't you?
Do I?
Other journalists.
Oh no, you're all individuals.
That's right. We're just trying to, make a dollar just like
believe
anybody
me,
else.
You're all individuals.
If there was going to be, based on your age and your work and everything, if there was going to be a movie title in this same kind of fashion, without the actors involved, what would you like the movie title of you and your career to be? Like, I'm Not There obviously kind of works well for him. Is there anything that you'd, like a one-sentence title? Mine would be something like, why'd I do that?
Why?
Why'd I do that?
Do what?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I'd have playing in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wish I'd done that. And let
that would be a good one?
Play off yours. I don't know. I could give you $1 million, I guess.
But it's tough for the guy's still alive. And, he's doing his story.
Yeah.
And this is like, the second movie for him. But do you guys have any feedback from him at all as far as, like, what you guys
I don't know.
think?
Have you sat down with Todd yet?
I've never spoken to the man, no.
No, Todd Haynes.
No, not yet.
Is
not
he
yet.
here today?
Yes, he is.
Oh, you should ask him, because I'm curious myself. I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but yeah, I'm very curious.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
It's nice talking to you again.
Yeah, you too.
I appreciate it, yeah.
How are you? Nice seeing you.
Good to see you. How you
Did you ever
been?
come to Nashville when you were a little boy? How long did you stay in Kentucky anyway?
Oh,
Just high school? Did you do high school?
no. I
You were
left
gone
early. I left during elementary school,
Yes.
midway through elementary
You didn't have
school.
time to come down there.
But I've been to Nashville a couple of
Yes,
times.
you didn't
Yeah. Great city.
How are you handling all this crazy stuff, famous man?
Well, it's been a pretty wild ride, I must say. It's been.
You've been hot and...
Oh,
Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
what
oh,
I
I thought we
do?
had
Sorry.
No, there's a, see that light right
See that light?
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
it's a really weird movie. I had corn yesterday at lunch at NBC. Didn't know I was going to do it. I had corn on the cob yesterday.
Yeah.
In the Peacock commissary at NBC.
Kind of makes you think,
I
doesn't
said,
it?
oh
after
my
seeing-
God. I said, that was kind of weird.
Yeah. How'd they grow that? The secret
King,
going.
though, what a sick guy. I mean, really.
King,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's weirdo.
That's it.
Fascinating.
Right, but he writes such great stuff, but it's where this mind has to be able to do it.
He's amazing.
Now, has this stuff been weird pretty much? I mean, you enjoyed it, or is it kind of just...
No, I've been enjoying. It's
Okay,
it's
it's flattering. It just has to be straight.
It's very flattering. No, it's been a very interesting year. It's been a very
Well, John, you've had a great year. I mean, really have. And I mean, you can't plan these things, can you? They just kind of work out.
No, it's just, it just kind of happened. It's been a great year.
And you like your privacy, even though you're a public person. It's been a little invaded, I guess, this year.
Well, after the release of Pirates, it was sort of like, yeah, things kind of changed a little bit, a little bit more, attention on the streets, I guess. This was just kind of deal with it, as best you can. But I have to say, I mean, it's been an amazing year and great to experience it. It's been a great ride.
Awards are always a funny thing, though, aren't they? You're competing against other people, and people are asking you questions, and and everyone would love to have every award that ever gives out, but it is a little bit of an odd thing.
Well, it is an odd thing in a sense that I'm not a particularly competitive guy, and really don't believe that actors are or should be in competition with one another. So the way I look at it is, that the Academy or that the Screen Actors or broadcast critics decided to bring, 5 or 6 actors together and say that, acknowledge that they liked your performances. That's, like, the nomination in itself is plenty for me. I think that for everyone is winning, it's very touching, though. It's very flattering,
This guy's weird. I mean, Johnny Depp plays weird characters on good days anyway, but this guy, he's out there pretty far, isn't he?
He's
maybe further than we realized until we watched the end.
He's having a hard time, Mort. He really is having a difficult time dealing with things, It's funny because, like, the bathrobe to me kind of represented Mort, the real Mort, who he is, that, holes, falling apart, faded, tattered, really on his last legs, kind of. So, Mort is, he's a complicated guy.
But you can relate. I can see you being I can see you almost doing this maybe at some part in your life, not now, but I can see you being alone maybe and hanging out in some cabin somewhere for a couple of days. I can see you doing that.
I can certainly, I mean, just as a human being, I can certainly understand that want or need of solitude, just to want to be alone. Maybe not to the degree that Mort wanted or needed it, but sure. Acting is a job that involves a lot of collaboration, between the filmmaker, the writer, the other cast, the crew. It's a collaborative effort. Writing is not. Writing is a solitary sort of, it's a guy or a gal and that page. Same with painting. So it's an art form that I really admire, and I can imagine how difficult it can be sometimes.
Always great to see you.
You too.
Good luck
Always
tomorrow
a
night.
pleasure.
Yeah, your old house. Hey. Oh, hey. Well, how nervous are you right now?
How what?
How nervous are you right now?
I'm not nervous at all, actually.
You really aren't?
No, I never get nervous.
You don't?
No.
No, not even for your first interview and it's live around the world? I thought you'd be a little nervous, but that's great, because if you're not nervous, I won't be nervous. I just wanted to let the world know that when we agreed to do this interview, you said that you would be willing to talk to me about everything, and we haven't discussed one single question that's going to be asked here tonight. Just wanted to make that
That's very true.
Very true. I talked to Suzanne DePass the other day, and Suzanne DePass worked with you all for a long time at Motown and really groomed you all and found the outfits for the Ed Sullivan Show. I wanted to go to this, to hear what Suzanne had to say about your childhood. And we're going to look at some pictures of you as a little boy. Suzanne said it was a heavy price. I want to know how big of a price it was, losing your childhood or having this kind of life.
Well, you don't get to do things that other children get to do. The simple things that they so much take for granted. Having friends and slumber parties and buddies and just hanging out. There was none of that for me.
Were you as happy off stage as you appeared to be on stage?
Well, on stage for me was home. I was most comfortable, and still most comfortable, on stage. But once I got off stage, I was like very sad.
Really?
Yes. There were times when I had great times with my brothers, pillow fights and things, but I used to always cry from loneliness.
You did?
Yes.
Beginning at what age?
Oh, very little. 8, 9.
When you all first became famous?
Yes.
So it wasn't what it appeared to be to the rest of the world, all of us. I remember I was a little black child, wanted to marry Jackie Jackson, your brother. So, I mean, to all of us, we thought this was the most wonderful thing in the world. Who wouldn't have wanted that life?
It is wonderful. And there is a lot of wonderment in being famous. I mean, you travel the world and you see things, you meet people, you go places. It's great. But then there's the other side. I would do my schooling, which was 3 hours with a tutor. Then right after that, you know, I'd go to the recording studio and record. And I'd record for hours and hours till it was time to go to sleep. So it'd be nighttime. And I remember going to the recording studio. There was a park across the street, and I'd see all the children playing, and they'd be rooting and making noise, and I would cry. It'd make me sad that I would have to go and work instead.
Was there ever a place where, because, you know, children, you know, I remember playing games and talking to myself and playing with my dolls and all that. Was there, and I think every child needs a place to escape into a child's world, into a child's imagination. Was there ever a time you could do that?
No, and that is why I think now, because I didn't have it then, I compensate for that.
Really?
I mean, people wonder why I always have children around, because I find the thing that I never had through them. You know, Disneyland, amusement parks, arcade games. I adore all that stuff, because when I was little, it was always work, 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 from one concert to the next. If it wasn't concert, it was the recording studio. If it wasn't that, it was TV shows or interviews or picture sessions. It was always something to do.
So here you were, Michael Jackson, with hits. You all had so many hits, 4 hits in a row, and you were crying because you couldn't be like other kids.
Well, I love show business, and I still love show business. But then there are times you want to play and have some fun, and that part did make me sad. I remember one time we were getting ready to go to South America, and everybody was packed up in the cars, ready to leave and go, and the plane was about to... And I hid, and I was crying while I was hiding, because I really did not want to go. I wanted to play. I did not want to go.
Were your brothers jealous of you when you started getting all the attention?
Not that I know of, no.
What's your relationship like with your family? Are you all close still?
I love my family very much. I wish I could see them a little more often than I do. But we understand, because we're a show business family and we all work. We do have family day when we all get together. We'll pick a person's house. It might be Jermaine's house or Marlon's house or Tito's house. And everybody will come together, and we'll fellowship and love each other and talk and catch up on who's doing what. And